And welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is all about, it's a short clip, but it's all about reflections and color of the shadow, and what's the angle of the reflection and then the shadow. It sounds kind of boring, but it makes your painting, if you're kind of an impressionistic painter, but it makes it kind of believable. Okay, so that's the only reason I'm doing this, with shows the reflection and the shadow and what color it is, because it just anchors the, here we go, like this. All right, so always remember this too. Where is your light coming from? And that's when people say, light? Yes, because that way you can show the shadow. So here's an example, the sunlight. Okay, but look at the angle of these farmers out there in their field. It's not always just straight, but think of this as radiating. So the angles are a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to figure that one out real fast. And if you have a light from the backside of something, well, of course, the shadow's coming towards you. Duh, right? But practice this. I know this is really silly, but practice this. It will make what you're doing more believable. So you know where the light's coming from because there's your reflective shiny spot. And you know where it's coming from because you also are confirming where the shadow is going. Not towards the light source. It's going away from the light source. Pretty simple, but you'd be surprised how many times we forget that. All right, here's another example. Dark against light. It makes it more dramatic. Dark against light, more dramatic. And again, look where the hot spot is. We know where the light's coming from because it's the brightest spot of the painting. Your eyes gonna always go there, right? And then the angle of the shadow. Okay, that's one thing to practice this and to observe. So normally, your shadow color, this is normally, okay? Normally the shadow color is the complementary color of the light source. I figured this one out when I saw that wonderful Monet painting of a blackbird sitting on a fence in the snow. I think the painting is called Magpie. Look it up. And what color is the shadow? Dark white? No, it was blue. That's when I woke up and said, now let's really look at this subject matter. And that's when I learned to become a painter. Look at the colors. So snow, shadow is not dark white. It was blue, complementary color, the sun, that kind of a thing, right? So then I played with that idea. And then I kind of jumped forward and went to the Fauve period and started playing with different shadow colors. I didn't believe in that kind of thinking. And the paintings became a little more funner, right? And so then I played with that. Well, we know which way the angle's coming from because of the shadow. I'm even really emphasizing this. And here's a 10-inch by 10-inch painting to show all of the things we're talking about. The reflection area, not really a reflection, it's more about the brightest spot where the sunlight's coming from. And look at the angle of the shadow. And how did I get that angle? Think of it this way. Think of a straight edge coming across here. And that's the pinpoint of one light area, but look at the angle. This is for us technicians, right? Look at the angle. Look at the angle. So that's why you want to know where the light is coming from, not just an overall light. It makes it a little bit more dramatic. So let me get started on one of these paintings and show you what we're talking about. So let me quickly show you what I just got finished talking about. Here we have a gray piece of paper. So that's my midtone. So here's my darkest dark, and this will be my lightest light. All right, so quickly, I'm just gonna put a ball in here, okay? Sitting on a table, do that, right? Now, at the very beginning, I make sure I know where the light's coming from. So I actually do this on the table or somewhere near the painting, so I know that is where the light is coming from. That sounds silly. So a mid-tone, so I'm gonna put the brightest bright light in there right off the bat. There you go, right? Now, if I know that this light is coming across here, look at the angle. I'm gonna come like this. The angle's coming across like that, right? So this would be the darkest part of the ball. right? Right? Light doesn't just come around the corner here. It's just like the moon. I'm going to soften it look like that. Makes it a little more believable. Look, my midtone's working for me. There's the 3 values. Now, what angle is the shadow? It's really dark underneath it. It really helps to anchor it. Make sure it sits on the shadow. And the angle is about right there, right? Now, this being charcoal, I can move it around a little bit like that, which is nice. And you want to make sure that the shadow looks like the ball a little bit. So it's going to be slightly round, right? You don't have to make a big deal out of it. Just know that it's going, as it gets further away, light comes around and surrounds it. So it gets lighter as it gets further away. Same thing in color. So it's just something to remember. There's your angle, see? There you go. And there you are. And that's how you make it believable. Now, to make it even punchier, let's say this is a dark color, a dark room. More dramatic here, right? Look at the drama of this. And we're going to lighten it up over here a little bit. Not too light. Don't make it brighter than this. Just enough to show some dimension in the room. There we go. So this is a quick explanation of what you want to do now in color. Let's do it in color. Since this BobBlast is about reflection and shadow, I'm going to get right into it. Not doing the whole painting from the beginning. So yeah, here we have a pair painting sitting down on a light table, bluish background. Okay, I'm at that point. But now I should remember that I have a light source. So I'm going to go right into it. These are my Holbein acrylic paints. They're like full body, a whole lot of pigment in them. And this is what I like about the Holbein. With my brush, get a lot of paint on it. And that's the whole idea. Be a painter. Put a lot of paint on your brush. And right there, you know that the light is coming right from there, right from the very beginning. So in that case, it's shining on that side of the pear, just like that, right? Just get in, get out. Just like, boy, I know where it is. Let's get the dark side. The pear really is somewhat yellowish, greenish, something like that. Okay, so let's get that color going in here. Add a little bit of the primary yellow. Look at this color. And I've added some of that luminous opera, which is pinkish. Ah, crazy, right? Whoa, get in, get out. Lots of small strokes. Show people how much fun it is to be a painter, not how difficult it is, all right? Now, this is the dark side of the pear. So it can be any one of these. It can be reddish. Why not? I like to pretend it's reflecting, say, a red wall. Maybe there's a red wall out here somewhere. And so now it's like reflecting it. I like that kind of painting. And that's what I mean by the reflection. All right. Soft edges right now, just lots of water. I do the same thing if I'm doing watercolors or oils too. This is exactly how I approach it. Since it's acrylic, I like to come in with a big towel sometimes and just soften it. Yeah. Whew, wow. Look at the energy it has. And just to be the bad boy, I'm going to actually put some black. Oh my God, he's using black over here. Really punch it up just a little bit. And I want to make sure it's sitting on, here comes the shadow part. It's sitting on its shadow. I'm going to start right from the beginning. But if the light's up in here, oh, that means up in here is going to be brighter, right? So that's what we're doing right now. Now look at the angle. That's the wrong angle, isn't it? That's if the light was coming this direction, shadow's going away. But the angle's coming down here. So to make it more believable, I'm going to correct the angle on that. Lots of water on here. Start off with a light color blue, just to make sure the angle's right. But I'm going to come down this way. Let's come down this way. And that makes a little more sense. According to the hot spot, there's my blue. Now remember, it's a little bit darker where it's sitting on its own shadow. So that's just darker blue. This is the ultramarine blue I'm using right now. See how it looks, gives the illusion of it sitting down. And because I like to paint, I'm going to add some hot pink. That's that luminous opera, the pink, to this blue. Whoa, whoa. Now, I like it to act as if it's reflecting back up into it. It doesn't really happen that way, but in my world it does, because I like to work with reflections. Remember, there's a bright colored wall over here, so I like to give it a little bit of an edge, like I pretend. All right, that's correction. That's the angle's right. I think let's come in with even more highlights, really punch it up. And now I'm going to actually make this part here a little bit darker. And that means more ultramarine blue, just to show you the point here that this can become pretty dramatic and bright and clean. And that's one of the things I like about the Holbein paints, is that they are bright and clean. So don't keep reworking your paints. The more you touch it, the dirtier it's going to get. So that's what I like to say, get in, get out. Get in, get out. Much like, the French Impressionists. So I'm pretending this is a spotlight coming in from way up there. So it's shining on the back wall also. That's why it's not dark over here. Because the same light doesn't just stop there. It continues on. And for me, to make it more dramatic, there you go. Dark, light, dark, light. There you go. And make sure that the table is out of focus a little bit, because you don't want the eye to go. The eye will go to the part of the painting that has the hardest edges. So I'm making the background softer. See, keep hair in focus, background out of focus. That brings it all up. Now, this is a pretty basic way of painting. And you can take it from there and move on and change the colors all you want. But this is like first day of art school, right? Now, the rest of it is up to you. So be a sophomore, be a junior, be a senior, and graduate with a master's and be a painter. Have fun. I hope this reflection and shadow angle thing helps you out a whole lot, and it helped me out a whole lot too. Hey, have a great day painting in your studio, and keep the brushes large. See you on the next BobBlast.